Hi, how are you, my lovely students? I miss you all. Today our math lesson is estimate differences. Today we will learn to use compatible numbers and rounding to estimate differences. What are compatible numbers? Compatible numbers are sometimes called friendly numbers. These are numbers that are easy to put together. Numbers that end in 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 1000. Numbers that end in 5, 5, 15, 25, 35, 65, 105. Doubles fact: 8 plus 8 equals 16, 2 plus 2 equals 4, 7 plus 7 equals 14, 20 plus 20 equals 40. Numbers that make 10: 1 plus 9 equals 10, 2 plus 8 equals 10, 6 plus 4 equals 10. What is rounding? Rounding helps you estimate numbers to the nearest group of 10. There are specific rules to rounding. Rules to rounding: 4 or less, let it rest, stay the same. 5 or more, add 1 more. Add 1 to the place you are rounding. Let's solve the following problems. 2 plus 4 equal? That's great! Equals 6. 7 minus 5 equal? Excellent! 2. 3 plus 8? 11. 15 minus 9? Very good! 6. 20 plus 50? 70. 24 minus 12 equal? 12. Remember, when we add, we find the sum. When we subtract, we find the difference. Now I have some questions for you before we start with our new lesson. There are 2 sections of bushes in a rose garden. One section has 127 bushes and the other section has 229 bushes. How would you round each number to the nearest 100? Excellent. Round 127 to 100 and 229 to 200. How many bushes would you estimate there are all together? Remember, when you estimate, you don't give the exact sum. It is about 300 bushes. Excellent, very good. How could you use compatible numbers to get a more accurate estimate of the total number of rose bushes in each section? Round 127 to 125 and 229 to 225 to estimate that there are about 350 rose bushes. Now, my students, bring your books and your pencils. Open your books on page 49. Unlock the problem. The largest yellowfin tuna caught by fishers weighed 387 pounds. The largest grouper caught weighed 436 pounds. About how much more did the grouper weigh than the yellowfin tuna? Does the question ask for an exact answer? How do you know? That's great. They didn't ask for an exact answer because they used the word about. Now underline or circle the numbers that you need to use. 387 and 436. You can solve this problem in different ways. One way, use compatible numbers. Remember, compatible numbers are numbers that are easy to compute mentally and are close to the real numbers. Okay, 436 minus 387. The two compatible numbers that I will use are 425 minus 375. I used 425 instead of 436, and I used 375 instead of 387. As I told you before, some compatible numbers end with 5. 425 minus 375. Here I have a question for you. How is this method the same as estimating a sum, and how is it different? Yes, I find the compatible numbers that are easy to subtract mentally. I may not use the same numbers as I would use for addition. 425 minus 375 equal 50. So the grouper weighed about 50 pounds more than the yellowfin. Now go to page 50. Another way to solve this problem, use the place value to round. 436 minus 387. Step 1. Round 436 to the nearest 10. Why does it make sense to round to the nearest 10 rather than the nearest 100? Because rounding to the nearest 100 would be 400 minus 400, which would give you 0 as an estimate. Okay, now look at the digit in the ones place. Yes, it is 6. Since 6 greater than 5, the digit 3 increases by 1. Write a 0 for the ones place. So it will be 440. Now let's move to step 2. Round 387 to the nearest 10. Look at the digit in the ones place. What is it? 7. Since 7 greater than 5, the digit 8 increases by 1. So it will be 390. Write a 0 for the ones place. Step 3. Find the difference of the rounded numbers. 440 minus 390 equal 50. So 436 minus 387 is about 50. Common errors. You may add the rounded numbers instead of subtracting them. Example, in step 3 you may add 440 and 390 and get 830 as an answer. You have to be careful, pay attention. Share and show. Please now open your books on page 51. Question 1. Use compatible numbers to complete the problem, then estimate the difference. 546 minus 209. I will replace these numbers with compatible numbers. I told you before some compatible numbers end with 0. So 546 will be 550, 209 will be 200. Now it's easy to calculate. 550 minus 200, 350. Use rounding or compatible numbers to estimate the difference. 57, I will round it to 60. Minus 21, I will round it to 20. Here I am rounding to the nearest 10. 60 minus 20 equal 40. That's great. Please try to solve 3 and 4 by yourself. Pause the video and try to solve them by yourselves, then check your answers. I'm waiting for you here. Okay, 642, I rounded it to the nearest 10. 137, I rounded it to the nearest 10 also. Look, 642. If you look at the ones, it is less than 5. So I keep the tens as it is and I change the ones into 0. 137. If you look at the ones, it's greater than 5. So I will change it into 0, but I will add 1 to the tens. 3 will be 4. 640 minus 140 equal 500. Question 4. 374. I will use compatible number, so I will change it to 375. 252, I will change it to 250. Here I used a compatible number which ends with 5, and here I used a compatible number which ends with with 0. 375 minus 250, 125. On your own. Please, I want you to pause the video and try to solve these questions by yourselves. Are you ready? It's time to check your answers. Remember, possible answers are given here. Let's go through it quickly. 67 minus 24, I rounded 67 to the nearest 10, 70. 24, I rounded it to the nearest 10, 20. 70 minus 20 equal 50. 81 minus 39. Again, I used rounding here to the nearest 10. 81, 80, 39, it is 40. 80 minus 40 equal 40. 936 minus 421. Here I rounded the numbers to the nearest 100. 936 is between 900 and 1000, but it's closer to 900. 421, it's between 400 and 500, but it's closer to 400. 900 minus 400 equal 500. Let's move to question 8. There are 298 students in the 3rd grade. If 227 students take the bus to school, about how many students do not take the bus? Here I have to make subtraction. And remember, when I use about, that means I need to estimate. It's not the exact difference. It is about 70 students. Question number 9. A museum has 324 oil paintings, 227 watercolors paintings, and 158 statues. About how many more oil and watercolor paintings does the museum have than statues? It is about 400 more. Okay? Again, it's estimating. It's not the exact difference. Thank you for watching this video. Bye bye. See you soon.